IELTS Writing Task 2, Ideas. We're going to look at technology topic ideas. Now, this video is just purely ideas and gives you an insight out as to how I think of ideas for my essays, which I write, and how you can do it too. And this is just a process that I learnt from my own course called at sentenceguide.com. So this video is all going to be about, this presentation is all about topic ideas for task 2, questions related to technology. Let's get started. Do you think that technological advancement has brought more harm than good? It's brought more harm. It's destroyed jobs and displaced workers and has brought hardly any benefit. Okay, this is my opinion. And of course, it's not my real opinion. It doesn't have to be my real opinion. All it has to be is a logical opinion, an idea, and a position that I can support. Let's get started. So, introduction, rephrase the question, and do those copy-paste sentences I've taught before. Then, body paragraph 1, it's brought more harm. It's taken jobs away from communities. For example, a Coca-Cola factory in, Munich recently fired 3,000 people because they've invested in a automated bottling plant. Okay? Totally false example. It doesn't matter. So it's brought more harm than good. Body paragraph 2 definitely brought more harm than good because, and I'm not going to say more harm than good again. I'm probably going to use it once, and I would say detrimental, disadvantageous, numerous pitfalls of investing in technology. And then my second example would be, a car production plant or factory in Wales that has recently had to fire 15,000 workers because of new technological advancements that have rendered their jobs useless because the machines can do their jobs nowadays. Okay, conclusion, definitely detrimental to society as we continue to lose jobs, especially in the West. You see? What technologies did you use to help you in your studies? Describe how it has helped you. Okay, let's go. So, easy question. I used Microsoft Word processor, and it definitely helped me with my spelling. Actually, now, can you see I've fallen into the trap? What I would say is, because this is a bit of a tricky one, and it would be talking about me and I'm using Microsoft Word processor, and then my essay wouldn't sound that academic, so I would depersonalize it, and I would say, students often use word processors which have numerous advantages such as correcting their spelling, organizing their work, and making it look more neater. A recent study by Harvard University showed that 97.3% of students use Microsoft Word processors or word processors and gain significant productivity advantages through their use of technology. Body paragraph 2, I used another very common technological advancement which students often use in their university career are apps. Most famously are the Learn English and other language apps, which greatly reduce the time spent studying or greatly reduce the time needed to acquire a new language. For example, blah, blah, blah. To conclude, I personally used both of these, the word processing and the language apps, to help me in my studies. Okay, and then just keeping it, I'm still answering the question, but I'm keeping the personal pronouns to an absolute minimum to make it sound academic, and that's how we're going to score high. Let's carry on. With the latest technological advancements, dating is now possible online. Would you recommend online dating for your single friends? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Okay, another tricky one. So I'm just going to do the same attack as this. I'm going to keep it as academic as possible. Body paragraph 1. Let's see. I would recommend it to my single friends because it saves time. Let's see. So yeah, I would definitely. So I'd say it is recommended for people to use these apps because these apps and websites because they save time, reduce risk, and are becoming increasingly common. And for example, a recent study, blah, blah, blah. What are the advantages and disadvantages of online dating? So this is paragraph 2, and I'd say the advantages are saving time, reducing cost. So that's one sentence. I'd probably put another advantage in there. I don't know, can't think of anything at the moment. Disadvantages include that you can meet people who you wouldn't. I don't know. Disadvantages are potential dangers and wasting of time, as you spend more time looking and swiping left or swiping right with regards to certain apps. For example, Tinder recently showed that the typical user spends 5 hours a day swiping left or right, which is an obvious waste of time. Okay, job done. In conclusion, there's lots of advantages and dangers, and it's going to be a trend that's not disappearing but increasing, full stop. And that's it. Okay, we've answered both of the questions and we've given fairly neutral conclusion. That's fine. Okay, the main point here was to answer these questions. Last IELTS writing test 2 questions. All inventions and discoveries, like the discovery of fire and electricity, have impacts on our lives so much so that people can no longer live without them. To what extent do you agree or disagree? I totally agree with this. A modern society, body paragraph 1, modern society could not survive without electricity. This is because it's extremely useful and there's a whole industry built up around it. For example, the level of electricity used often correlates to high electricity use often correlates to a higher standard of living. A recent study by the IMF has showed that. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds believable. Body paragraph 2, I totally agree. The smartphone has made us immensely more productive, as we can now perform work tasks while we are commuting to work, especially on public transport such as the train or trams. A recent study showed that workers with smartphones are 5,000% more productive than workers without smartphones. That's just joking, but you can understand. You could just say something like 15% more productive than workers without smartphones. Conclusion. Inventions and discoveries are undoubtedly, helpful in our lives, and I totally agree that that life would be extremely difficult without these devices. What I just did there was kind of rephrase this question, just remind the examiner that I'm going back to the question and I totally understand what the examiner wants from me, but I'm not going to use the same vocabulary. I'm going to rephrase it. This way you can pick up points, because if you just use the same vocabulary in the question, it's more difficult for the examiner to give you points. Now, if you want this whole PDF with 240 questions, IELTS Task 2 questions, then go to this site, IELTSPodcast.com, sign up and you get the free ebook. It's got sample essays in there. It's got vocabulary, IELTS vocabulary. It's really valuable, really useful. Okay, there's the contents. Have a quick look at that. And also, if you want your essay corrected, go here. And these links are in the bottom of the video, by the way. And if you want an IELTS online course, go to sentenceguide.com and you'll be able to benefit from the jump to a band 7, or it's free. Okay, my name is Ben Worthington. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your IELTS test preparation. Have a good day.